Welcome to the Tampa Bay IIBA chapter. Today is April 30th, 2026. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Esther Folorunso. She is the Vice President of Professional Development and Training for our chapter. This is a BA Masterclass. Today, we're going to have the topic of BA Strategy Lab. She's going to lead us through games, grit, and great decisions. My name is Thea Soren. I'm the president of this chapter. I've done a lot of things. I have access to a lot of things, but all of those things are here for you. If you need assistance, reach out to me. LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to me. I'll do what I can to help. For those of you who are new to the IIBA, let me tell you a little bit about us. The International Institute of Business Analysis is a global governing body for business analysis profession. With over 30,000 members, 120 chapters worldwide, and 7 internationally recognized certifications, we are committed to making the world better one business, one project, and one life at a time. The IIBA serves as the global standard-setting organization for business analytics. Because of this leadership and the most respected and widely recognized certifications in our professions come from the IIBA, grounded in the internationally adopted Babcock Guide. What are the benefits of joining the IIBA? Access to training provided by chapters across the globe. Complimentary access to 25,000 outstanding books, webinars, videos, including the Babcock, and you get discounts on your certification exams that equal or exceed the amount of your membership. IIBA chapters are in major cities around the world. If there is not an active chapter near you, we can talk about you starting a chapter, or you're welcome to the Tampa Bay IIBA. Members of our chapter are not restricted to residents of Florida. We have members literally around the globe. If you do not have an IIBA chapter, Tampa Bay can be your chapter. Our vision here at the Tampa Bay IIBA is building a thriving community of empowered business analysts. So why would you choose to be a member of the Tampa Bay IIBA chapter? We offer multiple training sessions each week, including CBAP prep and coaching, and an acclaimed SDLC workshop, among other things. You can view our upcoming events on our website, and our updates are posted on LinkedIn or Facebook. At the end of 2025, we had presented over 300 events, and a majority of those are on YouTube. That's a lot. So I encourage you to go to rpchurchill.com and go to the Tampa Bay tab, and you can see an index of all those recordings. Bob Churchill has been kind enough to put those together for us so that we can easily identify things by topic, by date, by speaker. It's pretty wonderful. All of that work comes together in the award that we received, the 2025 winner of the chapter awards for all of the chapters around the world. We received the Professional Development Award. And this is our board. These are the people that put it all together so we could win that award because we provided help to you. I'm so very proud of the efforts of each one of these good folks. One of the things that we have done this year is we are running 2 different CBAP test prep courses. One is Thursday nights after this meeting, and then one is Saturday mornings. That way we can basically cover the globe. A result of all of our courses since 2021 for test prep, these folks have reached out to tell us that our training and mentoring was a big part of their success in achieving their certification. Many of these are past participants of our CBAP study group, and several studied along with us only using our YouTube videos. A majority have gone on to lead IIBA chapters and organizations here and around the world because we make leaders here. I'm very excited to announce that this book should be on Amazon today or tomorrow. Looking forward to it. This is our second book in our series. We call it Book 2. It is sponsored by the Tampa Bay IIBA, and it has introductions of how a business analyst would go into any industry. We've got 12 different industries here. Here's a list. And this is our second book. We published one 2 years ago, and it had 12 other industries. It is already on Amazon. I want to give a big shout out to all of our partners, but our number one partner group is you, IIBA members, and those who participate in our chapter. We're partnered with over a dozen other IIBA chapters worldwide and mentoring 4 chapters that are just now forming. We partnered with the Doback Group based in the UK and these in the Tampa Bay area. We've successfully partnered with several recruiting services and training companies. Our goal, as always, is to elevate the BA community. In elevating our community, we've also partnered with Purdue University. We're providing them mentors, people who have had at least 5 years of experience, to mentor the virtual AI master's program students at Purdue University. The students that way get more than just academic learning. We've also worked with them to create a speaker series. Esther has been the person who's coordinated this for us. Thank you, Esther. And we've provided more than half of the speakers that have come through their program. The next one to happen is going to be Alicia on April 29th at 7 p.m. She's going to talk about transitioning from student to career to career to career. It's something most professionals need to have. Benefits of our partnerships include discounts and special events to you, our participants. Watermark Learning offers a 40% discount using this code. This means you get unlimited access to 1,200 CBAP practice test questions with a 40% discount. Watermark tools are what I use for the CBAP training classes, and many of my students have expressed how effective these tools are. Adaptive US also gives us a discount of 20% off for all their live classes and on-demand courses, excluding IIBA exam vouchers. This last week, the one that we are finishing up, April 27th through 29th, our own Seamus and Robert went to Orlando to speak at Project Summit and Business Analyst World. We saw the pictures, we heard the stories. We are so glad that they're here to represent us. I hope you were able to meet them. Coming up next week, I'm going to teach you how to use my Copilot M365 to make your own CBAP test bank, how to make it check data. It can do so many things, but I'm going to I'm going to show you on screen how to make an agent. It is stupidly easy, but it's so powerful. You can figure out how to make it do almost anything you want, and I'm going to give you the primer on that. So if you have M365 available, have it up on your screen and follow along with me, and you can do it yourself. May 14th and 15th, Unleash Your Potential Conference. This is a virtual conference that's coming. We've got 42 speakers, excellent speakers, guys. On May 14th, it's going to be workshops. On May 15th, it's going to be conference. The conference right now is only $99, and it's incredible. You get all the PDU, CDUs that you want for that conference. And then on May 14th, those are 4-hour workshops. Each workshop is $75, which is, again, an amazing price. You have an option of 3 different workshops in the morning, 2 different workshops in the afternoon. If you want more information, you can get information on our website. This is the workshop I'm going to be teaching, Stakeholder Management Practices for Better Project Outcomes. The week after that, we're going to do another effort just like we're doing tonight, the BA Strategy Lab, Great Decisions, Grit, and Games. And then on May 21st, we have IO going to come talk to us about organizations generate more data and insights than ever before, yet many struggle to turn those insights into real outcomes. He's going to show us how strong analysis often fails to influence decisions and how business analysts can move beyond insight generation to driving real impact. We want you to register for that and participate. Then on Saturday, May 30th, David is going to come talk to us about business process modeling. This is a 7-hour workshop. There is a cost for it. Their early bird pricing on this goes through May 15th. You save about $50 if you do early bird. I encourage you to do it. His 7-hour workshops give you PDUs, CDUs that you need for certification and continuing your certification, and he is an excellent speaker. Looking ahead a little bit further, on August 13th, we're going to have a recruiter conference that we're going to ask 5 recruiters. I have 2 more I'm still trying to find to come and talk to us about things like what does a business analyst need to learn in the current market? What skills do you see on the horizon? What are the needs you're currently filling? Just the things that we need to know to be marketable, which is what we want, and how to do really good interviewing. So to keep up with our events, subscribe to our events on this website, tampabay.iiba.org. Select events and subscribe to notifications. We do, again, have them on LinkedIn. Cliff does a fantastic job of that for us. And then we have our events on YouTube, and go to rpchurchill.com to access YouTube and to also get the index. Now for our presentation. Take it away, Esther.
Thank you so much, Thea. Good evening, everyone. I need to be sure, can everyone hear me? Just
Yes.
put in reactions. I want to see that activity in the chat. I can hear you. No, I can't hear you. Oh, you need to speak up louder. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to share my screen. Then we start. So today, basically, what we're going to be doing is playing, I would call it us playing games, but this is not us just playing games. We're actually thinking. We're going to be thinking deep. We're going to be thinking wide, putting on our BA caps, thinking, oh, this particular scenario as a business analyst, how do I handle it? We've had a ton of sessions this year alone, going through stakeholder development or stakeholder management, like all the sessions we've had this year, even last year. And I think we need an opportunity to take a breather and try to find a way to practicalize it and see, with some of these scenarios. So it's going to be a think tank. We're going to make play decision games. We're going to take a look at some strategic challenges. Um, so I look forward to journeying with you on this. And just as a heads up, there is no right or wrong answer. The goal is we see things in different perspectives, we see things in different ways. um we have different techniques we can use as business analysts. So putting on your BA cap at this moment, let's see how we're going to navigate some of all these scenarios or some of all these challenges together. Now, I'm going to be navigating between my presentation and um, another software called Mentimeter. Then let me put in the link in the chat. But before I do that, let me start the presentation. Almost there. So just let me know if and when you can see my screen.
We can see it.
Perfect. So I'm gonna put in the chat as well the link to our Mentimeter board. One second. Okay. So I'm putting the link in the chat. Let me know if you can access it. So we're just going to have an opener, take a look at some strategic decisions together, a think tank, a rapid fire quiz, and we're going to do reflections and we close out. Now we have a ton of, like, I'll say 20 questions. It's not a do or die. We don't have to finish all 20, but if we can finish all 20, that's perfect. So I want to be sure that we all have access. Oh, very good. Some people already started answering. So please, do not go ahead of me. I know you all have access to the Menti. Just take it. We're taking it at a slow pace. Don't so don't start answering all the questions because we have a ton of questions. So let's just start with the first slide. So in one word, describe what you want to walk away with. tonight. And I am going to move this over. And let me be sure, as you're typing, can you see other people's responses coming in on your screen? Okay. So I'm moving it here as well. So let me be sure. Can you see that? So as you're typing in, everybody, I have people saying um, new strategies for BAs, insight, knowledge, good, deeper understanding, thank you, network, engagement, interesting, insight, good, thank you, data. Hmm, maybe we need to have more data analysis sessions. Exposure, network, thank you very much. And please, as you're joining the session, I put in the Menti link again in the chat so you can just, but please and please, first to have fun, we're not going to rush. So let's start with the first question. We're doing it together and we move at that pace. Okay, so, okay, I'm still getting more answers. I'll wait for answers from 3 more people. Let's see. Okay, that's good. One more answer. Just one more answer. Perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's look at our results together. Um, really? Some people already went? Oh my God. Okay, let's do this. Now we have the mentee. I'm going to move it away and go to our next question that we have. And that's the one we already answered. In one word, describe what you want to walk away with tonight. Now let's go to this question. It says that when you hit a major ambiguous situation at work, what's your default first move? Now, there we have like different answers. You have an option to ask more questions until you have clarity, to make an assumption and to document that assumption, escalate to leadership, research similar past cases. Well, maybe it also depends entirely on the stakes. Now, I would love all the answers and the responses that I could get, but at the same time, I'm going to give an option for 1 or 2 persons to talk through why they picked a particular option. So, what's going to be the default first move? You have access to the second mentee. You can put in your response. So the second mentee is live now. Okay. Someone says it depends entirely on the stakes. Okay. Okay. Ask more questions. Okay. Zara says ask more questions. Thank you, Zara. Okay. More answers. Hmm. Okay. And heads up, there is no right or wrong answer. So I just wanted to put that out there. Oh, we're going to get to a point where there's a right or wrong answer, but we haven't got in there. So just get ready. So I have 6 responses. I'm waiting for more responses. Okay. Ask more questions until I have clarity. Okay. That seems to be. Oh, let's see. Hmm. Okay. So now I have a winning option, which is A. Ask more questions until you have clarity. Now I'm going to throw it open to the house. If you know you selected A, I know Zara probably selected A. Zara, do you want to give us a reason why you think it's A? Then someone that selected it depends entirely on the stakes or the sticks, whatever. Please just give us that reason. We want to hear your thoughts, how you're going to handle this particular situation. Because the truth is, ambiguity is not helpful, especially as business analysts. We have to, anything that's ambiguous, we have to find a way to make it unambiguous. That's the truth. So how do you handle that situation? This is, I wouldn't call it a day to day in the life of any business analyst, but your goal is to bring clarity. Your goal is to bring strategies, to bring structure, and make everything make sense. So, um, Zara, do you want to say something?
Yes, uh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Zara.
I think when BA encounter the ambiguous at the first step, it is needed that everything must be clear to him or her, and after that, it is needed to make decision about another things like research and um, assess it for risk or document it. I think it is needed that um, ask more question for clarity. Maybe some past cases help him or her to solve this problem or this subject.
Okay. Thank you so much, Zara. Thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
really helpful. And I'm 100% behind Zara, by the way. So, is there someone that wants to change my mind? Someone should say something. Okay, Thea.
I've discovered that sometimes you don't have time to ask questions. You have to escalate depending on the situation. I mean, that's not always the case, but you need to be aware enough of what the impact of the different projects are, who's involved, what the timelines are, what the criticality is, what the risks are, so that whenever something happens, it's like, maybe we need to go talk to somebody and just at least let them know that the situation's happening.
Okay, that works. Thank you, Thea. Thank you, Zara. That was helpful. Now let's go to the third question. Now, these next stage in the games we're going to is more of strategic decisions. Let's see how we're able to make some major or some important decisions. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You also still have access to the Menti, so you're gonna see the hmm. Okay. So you are 6 weeks into a 12-week project, and the sponsor reveals a major strategic shift and says 40% is built, but the stakeholders are divided. As the BA, what is your primary recommendation? You're 6 weeks into a 12-week project, meaning you're like, ooh, the first half is gone, and we should be talking of finalizing a couple of things. And all of a sudden, the sponsor, by the way, it's a major strategic shift. The sponsor has spoken, but your stakeholders are even divided. So, what is your primary recommendation? What is your primary recommendation? Yep, saying different. So if you're also just joining us, I'm going to put the link to the Menti in the chat, but you can also scan the QR code. Hmm. Now I'm having split responses. Like this is a tight one. This is a tight one. Hmm. Why are people against running two parallel work streams, by the way? We could do that to make everybody happy. Your
Resource
BA, maybe you,
constraints, confusion. Uh,
but
we
our
get that on
goal,
one project, let alone two.
We're not trying to please everybody. We're trying to please the sponsor.
but we should please everybody and make everybody happy because the stakeholders are divided.
They can be. The sponsor made a shift.
Okay,
Incidentally, I've seen that happen and it doesn't work out well.
okay. We can sell it to the state. Well, I don't know how selling it to the stakeholders is going to look like. Remember, they're divided. Okay. Most people are of the opinion that we pause and rescope immediately. So now I'm asking, oh, I have more people actually going for escalating for an executive decision. So, I need two people to please speak and let us know why they selected what they selected. I'm not there again. So, anyone else?
I can speak. I
Thank
selected,
you.
oh, you're welcome. I selected escalate for an executive decision.
Thank you, Alba.
Though it's, a little bit of a conundrum because if your sponsor is the one calling for the shift, it's kind of like I'm trying to think who you would have to escalate to, but I have been in this type of a situation, and I think it requires analyzing the situation. Like, what is driving the sponsor to feel the need to do such a drastic shift when we're almost halfway, into the development of this project. So I guess when I'm thinking of escalating, what I mean is I would need further clarification from the sponsor, because it's just as someone just mentioned earlier, you can't run. I have, say, a team of five developers, and we're usually split between multiple projects. Like,
Mhm.
not everybody has the luxury of having the team, required for something like running two parallel work streams. Pausing and rescoping immediately can cause scope creep. It can cause budget issues. It's not a matter of just pausing and rescoping immediately. You got to take a lot of other things into account, deadlines, vendors, contracts, things of that nature, and complete the current phase and then pivot. I think that is one that I kind of like as well. But I guess my logic behind escalating for an executive decision is just really getting the sponsor and the stakeholders together and really, getting to the crux of what's causing this push for a shift halfway through the project.
Thank you, Alba. Now, someone asks a question. What if the sponsor is the executive?
Right,
So
exactly.
you're
Yeah.
escalating to the sponsor
To the
again.
same person. Yeah. And I've worked with some very um not not narrow-minded but folks that are like, no, it's my way or the highway, and that can put you in a tough spot. But I think that as BAs, we sometimes have to have difficult conversations and bring reality to light, and just at least put your point out there for saying that, hey, yeah, this is going to cause delays. It's going to cause, you to be over budget. The risks, you got to bring them to light, and then yeah, that's where an executive decision gets made. But at least the sponsor is working with all the facts at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. And like Bill said in the comment section, he says, we present the facts, but they provide the direction. I think
Correct.
that
Yes.
basically sums it all up.
A
Thank you so
hundred
much, Alva.
percent. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next one. Two senior stakeholders have contradictory requirements. Both insist that their version is correct, and go live is in 3 weeks. What do you do first? In the Menti, I think I mixed it up. So if you go to the next slide in the Menti, you should be able to see that question. Two senior stakeholders have contradictory requirements. Both of them insist that their version is correct and go live is in 3 weeks. What are you going to do? What do you do first? Do you document both versions and escalate? Do you host a joint session? Do you research which of their requirements aligns with business goals, or do you defer to the highest ranking stakeholder? And if we look at the scenario, it says two senior stakeholders. So maybe we defer to the highest ranking stakeholder. Who knows? That is a hard one, okay? What do you do first? And let me be sure, two senior stakeholders, it could be maybe an example, you have two VPs on your project. They're both senior, and maybe they're even like sponsors. So it's like two sponsors on the same project have contradictory requirements. Go live is in 3 weeks, and you need to go live. Go live is go live. So what do you do? Okay. Someone says you will make a future enemy. Oh,
Could be
oh my
true.
God. What the sponsor tells you, okay? All right. So who wants to take us through that? But most people actually are selecting hosting a joint session with both stakeholders. That's the question that has more responses, or the answer that has more responses. So who wants to speak to that? Who is willing to speak to that?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'll speak to it. So this is when you got to put your diplomat hat on, and you need to make sure that both sides are understanding their positions. But still, at the end of the day, what the sponsor says, as long as you presented all the facts and you've been diplomatic, and it's understood that maybe one of the requirements isn't going to be met, you can always propose, maybe then we can do a phase two project that will, a phase two iteration that will maybe address that.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, you want to be diplomatic, because if you just say, you know what, he's right, you're wrong, whoever you say is wrong, they will become an enemy of yours in future projects. And they will be constantly shooting you in the foot.
That's true. Thank you, Bill. Someone wants to add something to that?
I
Would
don't want to add anything, but I do have a question. Sorry, Kim.
no, go ahead, Cassie.
And I guess my question is, isn't that the place of governors actually to decide in those cases? I'm curious to see how governors can relate into that situation.
That's exactly what that chapter says, isn't it, Cassie?
Yeah, if there's a steering committee that maybe doubles as governance,
Mm-hmm.
but still, if it contradicts what the sponsor says, well, likely the sponsor's on the governance committee.
Yeah. I personally am of the opinion that a joint session with both stakeholders be held where they hear themselves. And if they say their version is correct, once they hear themselves, we can actually take it from there. But at least they know what the other is thinking. And as long as every meeting, now this is like another, what's it called? Option, such that every meeting, all those requirements were probably agreed on during meetings, and you probably had more people or other people in that meeting, and maybe there were meeting notes or the meeting was recorded. Now, the major problem is both of them are insisting that their version is correct, but the recording is what maybe tells us what is correct. And there are meeting notes that summarizes everything that happened in that meeting and even gives out action notes. It will be clear as to what is correct. But hosting a joint session with both stakeholders is usually what's recommended um, as well. All right,
Just be
let's
careful
go.
calling them out.
Yep, diplomacy is also very, very
That's
important.
going to be the key.
Yep. Please,
Yep.
as business analysts, I'm not saying we need to be politicians, but we could be diplomatic without being politicians. Thank
Sometimes just showing them what the repercussions of their choices are
you.
and letting them see the impact of the other one's decisions, of their decisions on the other one is enough to get them where you need them to get to.
Exactly. Thank you. So we move to the next question. It says that a stakeholder requests a small addition. Remember, it's a small addition. 2 days before UAT. Realistically, what do you do? Let's not forget it's a small addition before UAT. For those that don't know what is UAT, can we put it in the chat? Let me get your understanding of what UAT is. If you're just learning how to be a BA, please ask. Um, let's know. Yep, user acceptance testing. And if you don't even understand some of the concepts we're talking about, please put it in the chat and you can be sure that there's someone that's going to respond to you and provide clarity. So if you have any questions or words or phrases that we're using or terms, like Kosi talked about governance and you don't understand what that really entails, or even a steering committee, please feel free to put that in the chat and your questions will be answered. All right. So we have say yes, relationships matter more. Okay. You assess the impact first, then decide. Good. It depends. Okay. Say no. Process is process. Yes, let's do with just the process. Please. I'm also still going to post the Menti in the chat. Please and please, let's participate. Actually have about 13 people using the Menti, which is good, but we're like 23 on the call. So please, thank you. Okay. Log it for your next release and communicate clearly. All right. Who wants to talk about this?
I'm
This
of the
is
Sure.
opinion that there's a bunch of equal answers. It depends is the most probably diplomatic because there's going to be other circumstances that you get away. You can't just say yes, unless, of course, it is the sponsor. And you
Even
can't
then, you
just say
shouldn't say
no.
yes.
Right,
Even then,
yeah.
you shouldn't say yes. You need to know how big is this? What is it going to disrupt
It's a small
before
addition.
anything? Somebody says it's small. Have you assessed the impact? Do you know what it is hitting? A small pebble can create one
I know.
holy heck of a wave.
Hey,
Yeah.
I had one today. One
Where?
field change. One field change.
Yeah.
One type field change on a 100,000 record import. Not a big deal. Well, that import takes 8 hours to run. It's a huge deal. So what is simple to something may not be simple in the technical sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandy says small according to who?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just think, if you make a change, testing has to change, UAT plans have to
Exactly.
change, deployment may have to change. Oh my goodness.
And most
And
times when
even
people say small, it's not really small. That's the truth. Because they don't know the amount of work that goes into it. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's just a small thing. It's finicky. You can just handle it. Know that that's a trap, please.
It's
Yeah.
always a trap.
Yep.
And
So don't fall for it.
I learned
All
that the
right.
hard way.
becomes the norm. I like that process is process because oftentimes, it's kind of like a slippery slope if they can feel like they can just, change things willy-nilly at the end.
Mhm.
It's everything is small to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like you just give them one chance and they're just gonna keep adding to
Oh,
it.
Hmm.
exactly.
You gotta put a stop to that.
If you set the precedent that you can do this, the next
Yeah.
person's going to go, or that person's going to, you did it last time.
Hmm.
Or you did it
I
for
mean,
so and so. Why not me? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's move to the next one. Okay. So now we're having a think tank. And this one, a key stakeholder. Now, for this one, you're going to type your move, what you want to do. You can always use if one word will um, explain what you want to communicate. Go ahead. So, a key stakeholder keeps missing sessions. When present, even during, let's say, the stakeholder requirements gathering meetings, they agree to everything. Then they send a contradictory email feedback after. What's your move? What's your approach? The person misses requirements gathering sessions. And even when they're present, they say yes to everything. Then at the end, they send a contradictory email feedback. Someone says, who is the person?
what role is this person? I think is what
Hmm.
they're asking.
Okay, let's assume the person is, what key role are we going to take? I don't want to use the sponsor again because we've been focused more on the sponsor earlier today. Let's say
Program manager.
hmm, the program manager. Okay, yes, there's a project manager. Good. And there's also a program manager. So let's say, for example, the program manager. So what would be your approach? What's your move? Do we have an idea the difference between a project manager and a program manager? Good. So what would be your move? The person misses sessions maybe because of other projects that are like within their portfolio and they have a ton. And when they're present, oh, everything looks good. I agree. And they send email feedback. Someone says, direct them to the meeting minutes. Someone says, confront them. Good. Ask them what changed their mind with your proof of their agreement. Yeah. Meet with them one on one. Good suggestions. Schedule a meeting. Yes. Discuss their concerns. Yes. Good. Schedule a meeting. Schedule an interview. Yes. Meet them. Okay. Someone just gave me a suggestion. Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
The person says, meet them in the parking lot.
Behind the dumpsters.
That's funny.
That would be an option, you know. Or you could buy them coffee, you know. Maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe. All right. So in this particular scenario, the strategy also depends on the person involved. There's no hard and fast rule. There are times you need to meet them one-on-one. There are times you actually need to direct them to the meeting minutes, like respectfully, diplomatically. Um, have the agreement or like a decision log. If you guys, if that particular team keeps a decision log for every major decision, you have that decision log that states who made the decision, when the decision was made, and maybe all the facts involved before the decision was even made. So all those artifacts, all those documentations would also be very helpful in presenting your case. Thank you very much. So let's move to the next one. The silent stakeholder problem is most likely caused by there are times in some projects we have the silent stakeholder problem. What is it mostly caused by? Okay, someone says because they don't trust the BA or the process. Too many competing priorities, poor communication. They feel left out of key decisions. Okay. You have them there. Oh, you have their boss in the meeting. Yep. And they just don't want to say
You
anything.
laugh, but I had a VP start showing up to meetings, and all of
And
a
no
sudden
one would.
everybody shut up every time he showed up. So it just totally disrupted everything.
In that situation, do you tell the VP to stop coming?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Explain to them why, but yeah.
Who supports that? Who's not in support of telling the VP to stop coming to the meeting? Let me hear your thoughts.
We have to be brave as BAs and protect the team and protect the project, just like Scrum Masters do. Sometimes you got to say the hard things, but say it diplomatically with empathy.
One thing I can add also is I will try to understand why he's showing up. And the reason behind it is maybe he doesn't have the like share knowledge that he wants or like the proper view he desires, and I will work with him, try to provide him with that information. Maybe that will help also.
Okay. Thank you, Kosi. So there are different reasons, and it could also be because they also don't trust the BA or even the process. It could also be that they have competing priorities, and in the meeting they're working on multiple things. That could also cause silent stakeholder problem, where there's poor communication or even the fear of committing their feedback on record. So these are all valid reasons. Thank you very much. All right. Next question. The leadership has a set go live date without consulting the team, but analysis shows the timeline is 4 weeks short. As the BA, what is your most strategic response? The leadership has a set go live date without consulting the team. Analysis shows the timeline is 4 weeks short. So we could work nights and weekends to make you work. So far, there's a bonus attached.
Now you didn't. You got to lead with that one.
Yeah. Well, when we get done with answers on this one, I want to share a reality that this one actually happened.
Of course.
Yeah, you could actually
I've seen
start sharing it, please. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Bank, national or international bank, one of the top three in Jakarta, Indonesia, had a commitment by the absolute senior executive, the CEO of the bank, that they were going to issue credit cards as of this particular date. And there was no way in blazes that they were going to be able to do that. We got it to the point where he had one credit card and it was activated. It was activated all the way through Visa, MasterCard International, and he could demonstrate in this major presentation that was publicized, televised, etc., that he could swipe the card and make the purchase. We got it
was
that far.
televised.
It was televised. It was nationally televised. We had to have something.
What?
That sounds like most sales presentations, all fluff.
Yeah, well, you know, the fun part is that the fraud transactions started coming in about 10 seconds later.
Oh no.
And we
Oh
and we
no.
declined them all because there was only one card that was activated for the entire but
Wow.
That's
but
horrible.
you do not lose face in the Asia Pacific region. You say you're going to
No.
do something, it
You
happens.
have to do it.
Well,
Wow.
let's talk about what happens if you commit to something that it's going to strain your team. Your team may or may not lean in. If they do lean in, they're going to get burned out potentially, get sick, get whatever. If they don't lean in, they're going to lose their engagement. They're feeling that they're part of the team and they're there for the project. Either way is bad.
Yep.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Carol. We have 8 more minutes. I'm sure we're not going to get to 20, but we're going to stop somewhere. Now, this is the invisible problem. Describe a time a stakeholder asked for one thing, but actually needed something completely different. Have you had those scenarios? The person says, I want A, but actually what they need is B to Z.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, these are scenarios we go through as business analysts. Like, amazing scenarios. You just have to think on your feet. And like Bill said, be diplomatic. So, have you faced those scenarios? Just say something in about 30 seconds if you have those scenarios, or what you would recommend in that particular scenario.
The Mentimeter hasn't changed yet.
Oh, I just did that now. Root cause analysis at the beginning and throughout. Good, thank you. Confirm expectations, thank you, and rely on MVP where available, thank you. Be sure to include everyone in the requirement review, thank you. One more answer. Clarity on requirements. Yes, clarity. The person might not just understand, and we have to make them understand. Has the need or the objective changed? What is different? Thank you so much for that. So let's move to the last question for today. On a scale from 1 to 5, it was initially 1 to 10, but 1 to 5. 1 where you avoid it, 5 where you thrive in it. How comfortable are you navigating organizational politics as a business analyst? Whether we like it or not, we're going to get to this point. So, how comfortable are you?
It's a good question. I have like 5 options here.
Yep. So you're supposed to pick between one of it's a scale. Like, are you thriving? Like, do you think you thrive in organizational politics? You're good, or in 1, you try to avoid it. 2, you kind of avoid it as well. 3,
Yeah.
you're neutral. 4, you somehow thrive. You thrive. 5, you exceptionally thrive in it.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't know why I have it 5 times, but it's okay.
Oh,
There's 5 questions on the page.
that's weird.
Answer the top one.
Okay.
See, that was a political moment. You stepped up. Good job.
Okay. Most people are actually somehow good, and I have someone also. There are people that actually avoid it, and there's nothing wrong in avoiding it, but there are times you actually need to address it as business analysts. So, at this point, we have just 3 minutes. I'm going to stop the Menti. We have this session again next month. I think we'll go through more detailed, more scenarios. But let's talk now that we're done with the presentation. We're not done. We still have about 9 questions, but let's talk within 3 minutes. What are our thoughts? What have we learned from the scenarios we've looked at? Any questions, things you need clarity on as a business analyst and how to handle some scenarios?
I would like
And
to
we
add,
go through.
Esther,
Go
it's
ahead.
really informative and interactive session. After a long time, we had it like that, and it's helpful for me to understand the thought process of other people also, right? So it somehow validate also what I was thinking and what other was thinking. So it's really add on value on day to day whatever we are doing or making decisions. Thank you, and I really appreciate it, and I'm thinking how I can use this session or presentation doing in my organization. So I'll
That's right.
touch base
Thank you
with you.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
thanks.
Sarita.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now the floor is open.
I think hearing other people's conversations about how they do things is a really good reminder. Because sometimes you get very used to doing something, or you don't even know that something else is available. We need to hear each other.
I agree. Sandy, go ahead.
So it's interesting for me because I've been essentially doing the role of a business analyst for the last 20 years, but I've not been paid for it, nor have I had that title. So I recently have been preparing for the ECBA, and I realized after the session I know a lot more, and I'm not as scared to take the exam coming up now. So
Hey.
I know a lot of the formal terminology and decision-making process and so forth.
Yeah, I think you need to speak with Thea. Maybe you might not need the ECBA. You might be able to take the CBAP. So have that conversation with Thea, though.
I would love to have that conversation with you, Sandy. Reach out to me on
Yes,
LinkedIn. We can
please.
set up some time.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Thea, Thea.
Okay.
I'll put it in the. I'll send you my information on chat here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Last minute comments before we call it a night. Thank you so
Sandy,
much.
if you look at your messages, I sent you a message directly with all that information in it. Did you not get it
The
at the beginning
messages.
of the meeting?
in your
Oh,
chat.
there was a lot of
In the chat.
information. I
There's a
didn't read
lot.
it all just yet, but yes, I see
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you cut and paste it out, you'll have Thea and all kinds of stuff in there that
Outstanding.
you can
Thank you.
connect with.
All right.
We
Thank you so
provide
much.
value.
Yep.
Esther, thank you so much
much.
for leading this. Esther, would you do this periodically for us? I
Yeah,
think
that's the plan
there's a lot of
actually,
good
to have
value
it
there.
monthly.
Okay, let's do this periodically. If y'all have any questions that you want Esther to ask everyone, I bet you she would take requests. Okay, thank y'all very much. We'll see you next week. If you have M365 or have it ready to go, we're going to create agents. I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can do it for your own projects. If you don't have it, follow along with us just on the screen so you can see how it's done. It is stupidly simple, but it's powerful. So I want to empower you with how to create your own AI agents. Okay? See y'all next week. Bye, guys.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
You.